are unable to make it. And so I would be remiss if I didn't just let you know. And when the moment to vote comes, you can bear in mind what I am about to say. Patrice Robinson committed to come, but she had a death in the family. And so she had to go to a funeral. She is running for City Council District 3. And Deanie L. Jones, who is running for Super District 9 Position 2, emailed us this morning because she has a medical emergency. And so we wish her the best of health and all the luck on their particular campaign. That notwithstanding, why don't you do me a favor and say, up the vote.
Up the vote.
Say up the vote.
Up the vote.
Say 901.
901.
Say up the vote.
Up the vote.
901.
901.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, and I'm sure there are some enemies amongst us too. Welcome to the Memphis People's Convention 2019. Pain and passion led a group of Memphians together on a bridge in 2016. We shut the city down. City officials started asking what we wanted, and we told them, and most of them did not listen. And people started asking us what was next. There have been some other things that have happened, but this is next. And despite measures to discredit and demonize and dismantle this event and this movement, we are still in the building today. And the fact is, we aren't going anywhere, and we sure as hell ain't going backwards. And even as we stand on the shoulders of giants, as we honor elders and ancestors, we are not lost on the fact that history is being made right now. In no point in recent history, maybe ever, have 20 candidates for elected office gathered to be vetted by a group like this. And be very clear, we are not here because of them, they are here because of us. And this is what I believe so many detractors do not like and cannot understand. As such, we can anticipate some of what will be said. Some will downplay the number of people who gather here. Others will belittle the program and berate the process. They will say this was just a pep rally or a predetermined coronation, and no matter who wins, some are going to claim bias. Pundits and poverty pimps committed to the status quo are going to spend more time interrogating our rigorous process and righteous program than people have spent interrogating mediocre politicians and regressive politics. This is what can be expected. Do not be surprised, because this is what happens when people are committed to reshaping and restructuring an unjust and inequitable political structure. And anybody who chooses to sit this out or thumb their nose at it is saying to us that our voices don't matter, that our vision for the city isn't important, and that our votes should not count. But they are dead wrong. And they will be held accountable. Let me be clear, our goal in this gathering has been stated consistently. Number one, we aim to produce a democratically constructed agenda that we call the People's Agenda, and that will be shared today. Number two, we aim to organize and mobilize 2,500 people for increased transparency, accountability, and public political engagement. And this is why you're here today, right? Lastly, and really least importantly, if we're honest, we seek to develop a slate of consensus candidates that we trust will execute the people's agenda and minimize the potential of someone getting into office by a split vote, or a vote of the minority, or a vote that does not adequately reflect the will of the majority of the citizens of Memphis. We are here today to do the work that gives more power, information, and representation to more people, and anybody who cannot support and endorse this is not capable of providing the political service that we need. But no matter how today's votes turn out, if we don't stay committed to this endeavor, this beautiful gathering won't maximize its potential. We need everybody here to be engaged long term. We need you invested and involved in the fight to improve the quality of life for everybody in Memphis and Shelby County. This is part of the Black freedom struggle. This is part of the civil rights struggle. This is part of the struggle for human dignity. This is a fight for social justice and Black liberation. Our problems, our pain, and our plight did not develop overnight, and we would be lying to you today if we told you that it would be resolved in one convention or one election or one election cycle. There are no political saviors. And voting is not a magic wand, but it is a priceless piece of our political empowerment. And we are here today because we deserve to have more power. The people deserve the power, period. And if we're all honest, all of us at some level have encountered an election or two in the past few years that left us feeling depleted. Sometimes the democratic experiment can knock the wind out of your sails. But there's one rule that they teach people in sailboats, that no matter how still the waters might seem, if you want to move forward, never let your sail down. Because all it takes is a little bit of wind to push us in the right direction. And I believe as I look out on this crowd that there's a little wind blowing this morning. When you registered this morning, that was some wind blowing. When you made your way to this Black-owned venue, that was some wind blowing. When you cast your vote today, that'll be wind blowing. And when you leave here and help somebody get registered or get more information, and when you phone bank and canvas and fundraise, when you go to school board meetings and city council and county commission meetings, when you pick a friend up and make sure that they get to the ballot box when you go, when you vote early and vote often, God is going to send some wind. And God is going to give you and all of us the victory. So we're glad you're here. And I want to just welcome you to this round of the fight. So I hope everybody is committed to Up the Vote 901. Say Up the Vote?
Up the Vote
901.
901.
The lead organizer of Up the Vote 901 is my dear brother. He's coming up to make some remarks now. Y'all give it up for Mr. C.J. Waller Crawford.
Take it off. They thought I was Earl's height. Good morning, everybody. All right, so I'm here chiefly to share the vision of this movement with you. We are here because we care about power, information, and representation, and we want to see more of that given to more people. Earl has already talked a little bit about power, and if we can tell the truth, power feels like a dirty word. It's a cuss word. A lot of us are not comfortable with it because people with power can make decisions that affect other people. And so sometimes we look at our neighbors, we look at our loved ones, we look at people across the political spectrum, and we wonder if we want them to have power. Because we know everybody doesn't want the same things, right? Some of us are saying that we want to see people who have been disempowered because they don't make a fair wage, right? Have fair wages. We want to see them empowered. We want to see people have fair and equitable education, right? And because we want that, we know that there are people who will be obstructionists. They will try to obfuscate our message. But what we're here today to practice is the power that comes when people stand together. And so I'm happy to see each of you. We need to talk about what information is going to be necessary to us being empowered. We know that without the right information, you can't make a good decision. And so what we hope to see in this program today is not only a clearly defined aspirational agenda, but we hope to hear candidates who will make it plain where they do support and where they don't support an agenda. And that's the information we need to decide who will be the people's candidate. And that leads us into the most important part of this particular dynamic tactic. This is about representation. We want to make sure that people are not handing us their bill, their platform, and saying, hey, we need you to get behind us. We're saying that it's time for us, the people in this room gathered around these walls, representing each city council district, to say, this is what we expect in exchange for our votes. This is what we expect in exchange for our phone calls, for our door knocking, for our financial contributions. And so, in the spirit of the Black church, and Earl already got you started, I need you to say these 3 words because they are the magic words for this convention. Power, information, and representation. All right, so I need to call your attention to a couple of things. You have a program with you. If you flip it over to one side, you will see an agenda. It talks about education. It talks about budget. Anybody who gets up here saying they're running for office, we want to see where what they say aligns with the things that are in that agenda. We need to know how we came up with that agenda. There were 2,200 people surveyed. It was done online. We went to where people were. We knocked doors. We took technology. We did whatever we needed to do to get as many opinions as we could. You need to know that those 2,200 folks, we feel were a good representation of the city of Memphis, Tennessee. About 65% of them were African American. About 30% of them identified as white or Caucasian. About 5% of them outside of that. You need to know that they talked about things that we know because our partners who are lined up outside, they've done similar work. And what they found is that people said that they were concerned about a handful of things, and this survey reveals those things. So I need you to stand up. I need you to listen up, and then I need you to turn up on the vote. And remember that the thing that we want to know is where they align with our agenda, and we want to know what it takes to see policies that reflect our will. That's our power. We want to know that they are telling us the information we need to make a good decision. That's our information. And then we want to make sure that whoever we select today, that we feel comfortable saying that they are our representation as we move forward. Thanks everybody for coming out, and I look forward to seeing who the people's candidates are. Have a great day.
Let's give both of these gentlemen a hand, y'all. Come on, show them some love. It is a beautiful morning, and I want you to know that it's only what you put into a thing is what you'll get out of the thing. And so today is, as he said, not the end all and be all. It's literally the beginning. So after we do cast the votes and the things of that nature, we're looking to keep your energy. We're looking to hold on to your commitment to this community, all right? My voice said that's it. All right, so I'm gonna turn it over to a lady